What if charging your EV took less time than ordering a coffee? That's not a marketing slogan. That's what BYD just announced, and the entire EV industry should be paying close attention. Welcome to the Plug-in Report. I'm going to break down exactly what BYD's Blade Battery 2.0 is, why it matters, and why it could completely reshape the electric vehicle industry as we know it. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end, because the implications of this technology go way beyond one car company. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button and smash the like button right now. We cover EV technology, batteries, and the future of transportation, and this one is a story you do not want to miss. Let's start with the problem. For years, three things have stopped everyday drivers from going electric. Number one, range anxiety. Number two, charging takes too long. Number three, batteries perform poorly in cold weather. These aren't minor complaints. They're the reason millions of people still hesitate at the dealership. They're the reason EV adoption has stalled in colder markets. And they're the reason legacy automakers have been able to say, our gas cars are still more practical. BYD heard every single one of those complaints. And on March 5, 2026, they responded. BYD, the world's biggest new energy vehicle manufacturer, officially unveiled its second-generation Blade battery alongside new flash charging technology, advancing battery energy density and dramatically reducing charging times, even in extreme cold. This wasn't a concept. This wasn't a press release with a far-future timeline. BYD launched real vehicles with this battery the same day. The era of Blade 2.0 has officially begun. Now, let's get into the technology, because this is where it gets really interesting. The original Blade battery launched in 2020 and was already a landmark achievement. That first generation achieved approximately 140 to 150 watt-hours per kilogram energy density at the cell level, and became the foundation for BYD's rapid growth from 130,000 EVs sold in 2020 to 3.76 million vehicles in 2025. That's enormous scale built on one battery design. But competitors were catching up, charging speeds were falling behind. BYD needed a leap, not a step. So what changed? The chemistry itself. The second-generation Blade battery introduces lithium manganese iron phosphate chemistry, adding manganese to the traditional LFP formulation. This modification increases energy density to 190 to 210 watt-hours per kilogram at the cell level, while maintaining the thermal stability and safety characteristics that made LFP popular for mass-market EVs. That's a 40% improvement in energy density over the original Blade. Think about what that means. The same size battery pack now stores dramatically more energy. That translates directly into range, performance, and value. And there's a bonus. The chemistry change also reduces production costs by 15% compared to the first-generation battery tech network, supporting BYD's goal of bringing this technology into vehicles priced between $14,000 and $28,000 USD. That last number is critical. We'll come back to it. Now for the number that made headlines globally. The Blade 2.0 features Megawatt Flash Charging technology, supporting up to 1,500 kilowatts of charging power. This allows the battery to charge from 10% to 70% in just 5 minutes, and from 10% to 97% in 9 minutes. Let that sink in. 97% charge in under 10 minutes. That's not a gas station fill-up. That's faster. Now, to be fair, those speeds require BYD's dedicated flash charging stations. As of March 2026, Both the Blade 2.0 battery and flash charging network are currently China exclusive, and the charging speeds remain unverified by independent third parties at this stage. Those are real caveats worth knowing. But here's the thing. Even on standard charging infrastructure, the second-generation Blade battery charges 30 to 50% faster than conventional EV batteries. So even before you find a flash charger, this battery is already faster than what most EVs offer today. And BYD isn't waiting. The company says it will roll out 20,000 flash charging stations by the end of 2026, each equipped with 1,500 kilowatt dispensers. That's a massive infrastructure commitment, and it's happening now. Here is where BYD may have just unlocked an entirely new market. Cold weather has always been the silent killer of EV adoption. In places like Canada, Scandinavia, the northern United States, and Central Europe, extreme cold degrades battery performance dramatically. Charging slows to a crawl. Range drops. Drivers get stranded. The Blade Battery 2.0 addresses this head-on. The Blade 2.0 retains over 85% of its capacity at -20 degrees Celsius. Even in extreme cold of -30 degrees Celsius, the battery can charge from 20% to 97% in just 12 minutes. Only 3 minutes longer than it takes at room temperature. 3 extra minutes. At 30, below zero. That is a genuinely historic result. BYD showcased the battery charging flawlessly from 20% to 97% at -22 degrees Fahrenheit. That's -30 degrees Celsius in just about 12 minutes. Traditional lithium-ion batteries charge painfully slowly in extreme cold because frigid weather slows the transfer of electrons within the battery, affecting charging efficiency. BYD appears to have solved what every other battery maker has struggled with for decades. If this holds up under independent testing, and that's an important if, this changes the calculus for EV adoption in cold climate markets entirely. If there's one thing BYD has always used as a competitive weapon, it's safety, and the Blade 2.0 pushes that advantage even further. The Blade Battery 2.0 structure can withstand temperatures above 300 degrees Celsius without catching fire, setting a new benchmark in battery technology. That's not just impressive, that's now legally required. China recently enacted some of the world's toughest battery safety standards. The new standards prohibit battery fires even during thermal runaway events, requiring manufacturers to demonstrate that damaged batteries will not ignite. The Blade Battery 2.0 passed simultaneous charging and nail penetration tests after 500 flash charging cycles without emitting smoke or flames. It also withstood bottom impact tests with 10 times the force required by national standards. 10 times. The national standard. That's not meeting the bar. That's raising the floor for the entire industry. And the lifespan? Industry sources suggest the battery can handle 3,000 to 5,000 full charge cycles, equivalent to approximately 1.2 million kilometers of driving. BYD has also extended its warranty to 8 years or 250,000 kilometers and applied it retroactively to all existing BYD Blade battery owners. Battery design that is a powerful statement of confidence in this technology. Okay, let's zoom out. Because this is the part that really matters for the broader EV industry. BYD is not just a car company. It is a battery technology platform. And when they move, the industry moves. First, the price disruption. The BYD Seal 07 EV launched on March 5th at approximately $24,600 to $27,500 US, 21.3% cheaper than the competing Xiaomi SU7. A vehicle with flash charging capability, over 700 kilometers of CLTC range, and sub-10 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometers energy consumption for under $28,000. That is a direct assault on every mid-range EV in the world. Second, the cobalt-free advantage. The Blade Battery 2.0 eliminates controversial materials like nickel and cobalt. That reduces supply chain vulnerability. It lowers ethical sourcing concerns. And it directly reduces cost, which BYD passes down to consumers. Third, the infrastructure strategy. BYD isn't just building a better battery. BYD announced plans to partner with existing public charging networks to embed its flash charging stations within their established sites, a station-within-a-station model. It's a smart, capital-efficient way to build a megawatt charging network fast. No starting from scratch. No waiting years for permits. Fourth, the global pressure it creates. Every Western automaker, Ford, GM, Volkswagen, Tesla, now has to answer a question they weren't expecting this soon. How do you compete with a $25,000 EV that charges faster than your premium model, has better cold weather performance, and comes with a longer warranty? That question doesn't have an easy answer, and the clock is ticking. Before we wrap up, a few things to watch carefully. BYD's claims are bold. Some still need independent verification. The real test begins when these batteries hit highways in July heat and January cold, racking up hundreds of fast charge cycles on vehicles owned by impatient real-world drivers. That data will determine whether BYD's promises hold or whether the fine print swallows the headline. Also, global availability is not guaranteed quickly. Export models with tariff exposure may be the only near-term path to global markets outside China. So, if you're watching from Europe, North America, or Australia, this technology is coming, but on a timeline shaped by trade policy, not just engineering. But here's the bottom line. The Blade Battery 2.0 is the most complete fast-charging package any automaker has publicly announced. It attacks range anxiety, charging speed, cold weather performance, safety, and cost, all at once. That doesn't happen often in this industry. BYD just moved the goalpost, and everyone else is still running to find it. That's everything you need to know about BYD's Blade Battery 2.0 and why it matters far beyond just one company. If you found this breakdown useful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the Plug-in Report. We cover stories like this every week, so you never have to guess what's actually happening in the EV world. Every like and subscribe helps us keep this channel growing, so we can keep delivering the analysis you won't find anywhere else. I'll see you in the next one.